Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a healthy Carson Wentz and the world champion Philadelphia Eagles face off with Jameis Winston in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's get you over to Raymond James Stadium for the home opener. On the call, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. It'll be Jameis Winston leading this unit, the fourth-year quarterback from Florida State.
And there's little doubt that he's looking for a big-time bounce-back season in 2018. Everyone expected a big year in 2017, but the team won just 3 times in his 13 starts. Some of that, you got to put on their defense. They struggled, but there are too many inopportune turnovers that continue to plague him.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
And my eyes immediately go to Mike Evans. 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons to begin his career. His numbers may have dropped a little bit in 2017, but he commands respect from every defense with his height and his ability to run downfield and make a big catch.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. The first carry here for Jaquiz Rodgers. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Jameis to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They'll get nothing out of the completion there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I know you've got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Tells you whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now Sproles. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback calling the shots under center. It'll be Carson Wentz.
And what a season Carson Wentz was having in 2017 after a rookie season that was a little bit up and down, as you might expect. He was having an MVP caliber year. 33 touchdown passes at the time of his injury. Had his team at 11-2. Riding high. Everyone thought that might be it for the Eagles. There goes their dream of winning a Super Bowl. Instead, Nick Foles comes in, team rallies, saves the day, and end up winning the Super Bowl anyway. But Carson Wentz had a big hand in getting him in that position.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Time to peek at the defensive starters. Here they are for Philadelphia. They're a unit that enters play way down, number 28 in the NFL right now against the run.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve, because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. Got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The numbers for Evans a week ago: 7 catches, 102 yards, and a touchdown.
When you turn in good, consistent performances each and every week, you will rank in the top 10 in the league in receiving yards, and he's number 7 currently, hoping to move up as time goes on. I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
That first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Brian Anger now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that one hits a little too close to the goal. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Looking for an opening. Not much there. He'll get it to the 39. In on the stop, Vernon Hargreaves. A look at the Buccaneers starters now on defense. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
They held them to just 7 points, and in reviewing the game tape, I'm wondering how they got the 7. I actually wrote a note to myself. How did they even score? The way they were playing, absolutely dominating on their side of the ball.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Mike Wallace, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Going long here. This is caught at the 20. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play there for Philly. 43 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Again, they'll run it. Again, it's Sproles. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Wentz. Flush to his right. He can't get him down. Escaping the... And he'll score! Touchdown, Eagles! Carson Wentz, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. He hits Rodgers in the flat. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Noah Spence in on the stop.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
They didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even giving up a defensive touchdown.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And the third down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
Holding, receiving team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 37. A give to Jones. Room to run past midfield. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And a solid run down inside the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Eagles have recovered.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's got his man. That's Wallace. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. shotgun now for Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Adam Humphries, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 26-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the 1st down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the 1st.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. He's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is incomplete. The Eagles on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. Flushed out right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got... They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll go again to Jones. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Bucs on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing, Winston. This is caught by Jackson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Second down, Winston. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Jackson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And they'll run it here. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Winston. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. The give is to Jones. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8.
Ready. Move away.
From the gun, Winston. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Corey Graham. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski, okay? Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a 3-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit? And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here's a Johnny. And he stopped immediately there. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Wentz going to throw. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Mike Wallace, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 21-7. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
And he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play, and it'll be second down.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup, and now they're in second and manageable.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
The Bucs on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Play fake. Winston. He's got Evans. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Ready. Black 22.
Winston now to throw on first down. Flush to his right, and he slides to avoid the hit. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
False start, offense.
Now they nab the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, Winston. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he's going to be out of bounds down to the 25. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it, now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it, we can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Able to shake him off. Evans has it left side. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Ready?
They go back to the ground with Jones. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. The Bucs on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7.
Ready? Blue ready. 550.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll power his way up near the 25. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Ertz has it left side. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Eagles on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey, kill.
To throw, it's Wentz. Aguilar has it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Wentz now has hit on just 7 of 17 passes, 41%. Wentz now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Eluding the pressure right. And he comes back with one complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And the kick by Elliott is good. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start things out with a trip up to FedEx Field. Washington playing host to visiting Indianapolis. And in the second quarter, it's the Redskins who are out in front. Jamison Crowder, a touchdown reception. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Matt Ryan has a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And this one going the visitors' way, as the Texans have the lead in that one. Bruce Ellington, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. In the game you're watching, it's a once-again healthy Carson Wentz that's led the way in the first half. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. Oh, a nice spin. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, Armstead.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Wentz. Going long here for Wallace. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
A first down throw for Winston. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd down and 12. Jameis to throw it. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Let's go.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Run.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. They run again with Ajayi. And some space here. Sidesteps him at the 35. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here we go. Lefty.
This is a Ajayi. And tough sledding. They'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. The Eagles on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. Wentz steps away to his left. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, but fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. He got it stripped, but you can see the panic in his face from up here through the helmet. He was able to dive back on it.
A good bit of fortune for him, because oftentimes on a strip sack, when that ball is wrenched out of your grasp, it can go in any different direction. It can go way away from you. In this case, it didn't matter. He was able to get on it.
Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Ready, go. Move ahead.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Hey. Ready.
To throw is Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And fights through one man. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Now it's a Giant, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Wentz to throw on second down. It's complete left side to Aguilar. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They go play action here on first down. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On second down, here's Wentz. Open man left side is Wallace, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
To throw is Wentz. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time, 3 here. Not the worst thing in the world. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ready, white 25. Where's that?
Jameis now on first down. Over the middle to Evans. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant, A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Third and short yardage, Winston. That's caught by Penning. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone.
And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Let's go, Greg.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. Hurts over the middle. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Hey. Don't go. 20. 58, boy. 58. 58 right. Army. Hey, kill. Let's go.
They run with Ajayi. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Wentz now to throw. And some room to roam now. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Wentz going to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Holding offense.
They get big Jason Peters, the left tackle. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They fake the give. Now Wentz sliding out of the pocket. And he's got room. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 37.
Ready. Blue ready.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. Evans has it left side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Our time. It's our time.
2nd down, Winston. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Let's go now. Ready. Blue way.
On 1st and 10, Winston. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Ready. Blue ready.
Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Winston now to throw on first down. He hits Rodgers in the flat. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue, white.
First down, Winston. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And now it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Winston again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to... And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Jacquizz Rodgers, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the 4th, they got to be careful.
They definitely do because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their purpose on this drive, squash that hope one more time.
They'll start out on the ground with a giant. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Sometime in this 4th quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
Come on now, come on now, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
To throw, it's Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A second down throw for Winston. And, oh, Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked up by Jalen Mills. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. A gain of 3, second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Down the man inside, down the man.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On the ball. 46 down, man. 5-4.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Let's go.
Now Wentz on third down. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the fourth.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football. You want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Jameis on second down. That is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
He finds Humphries. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. Winston and Humphries connecting there for a Tampa Bay first down. They go play action here on first down. He's going to let it fly. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On third down, Winston. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Howard. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain of 13 and also a first down. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
Offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs them up 5. First and 15.
Ready. Blue way. Boys up.
Jameis again. And Blake has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
And here's motion again. And that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. To the air again with Winston. Fighting through. And this is incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Third and long for Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
On the ball.
Now Wentz. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now a second down throw for Winston. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
Let's go.
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Eagles, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.